Good afternoon. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's such a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day outside. It's sunny here in Dallas. It is awesome. I think it's probably in the 60s. They say we'll be in the 60s today. God has blessed us all to see another day. And for that, I am so thankful. I am so glad. Hi, hi, hi. Thank you for being here today. Today. I have on here as a topic when you feel the negative vibes. When you feel the negative vibes, VIBES, have you ever felt the negative vibes? And I think of this, and I'm presenting this because of experiences. And have you ever, I'm asking this question, have you ever maybe walked into a room or you want to conversate in a conversation or walked into a conversation and it seems like there was a dead silence, like everybody stopped because they didn't know what to say when you walked up. Have you ever had that experience? Have you ever had that experience when you feel the negative vibes and then you feel something like something's not right here? And believe me, you need to go with your feelings most of the time. So I'm going to talk about that today. And then we're going to go into what it really is all about because there's so much going on in this world. And one thing about it, we this is Heritage Month. This is African American Heritage Month. They call it Black History Month. So the thing that we really need to be stressing to each other is that we need to respect each other more, to support each other more. We need to treat each other like we want people to treat us. And if we all want to be treated nice, we want to be treated with respect, we want to be honored in our places wherever we are, where we are in life, then we need to do that to someone else. Do unto others as you would them do unto you because there's so much hate, there's so much envy, there's so much jealousy, there's so much strife. People don't want other people to climb the ladder of success because they don't seem like they are climbing the ladder of success. So they want to pull other people down or stop other people from moving up. There's so much going on. Now, I want to make this clear that I love who I am and I love my ethnicity. I love my people. I love people, but I'm telling you, because somebody was saying the other day, they said you can say all you want to, but after that, but it changes. Okay, I love my people. I love myself. I love who I am, and that is why I bring these topics. I give my point of view on so much because we are special. We are loved by God. We are chosen by God. And I am just so thankful, so thankful, so thankful. So when you feel the negative vibes, and I believe everyone in the what it is under the sound of my voice or is listening to this video has at some time or sometimes or others or sometime or another felt negative vibes. And it's a shame, but God has given us all of these, feelings and everything so that we can be aware of what's going on around us. Okay, so he built all of that in, these instincts and all of that. God did that for us so that we can get it. Okay, all right, so what when you feel the negative vibe, and I printed something out today. I usually read the screen, which I will be reading today, but about these negative vibes, and this is by Anna Lemond, BA, and this was first published on March the 17th in 2019. And it's if you're getting negative vibes, from someone, here is what it may mean. And I was thinking, I was in, when you can tell, and I'm going to get into that, but I know you can uh, agree with me or relate to this. You can tell when some kind of negativity has been aimed at you. I'll put it like that. Because people, if you have a relationship with the person that's spreading the negativity, and they say they're your friend, and then they're dealing with all these other people too, and so they've said some negative things about you to some of those people. So when you are in the picture and you are present, then these other people really don't know how to act toward you or react to you, because they have all this in their mind that's been given to them by the person that you are around. So they don't know what to say. They don't know whether they have a conversation with you. They don't know what to do. They are, I would say, confused, because now you've talked about, this person has talked about you or me to these other people, and now you're having a conversation like everything is good, or you're mingling like everything is good, but yet you or somebody, they have talked about you negatively. Now you're all chummy and everything. And so these people are like, okay, I don't know how to act. I don't know how to react to this, because they have this stuff in their minds that has been said to them about you or me, or if we've said something about somebody to somebody, and then we're all chummy. I know you get what I'm saying, okay? So when you feel the negative vibes, when you feel the negative vibes, and I said this is they've given us this month of celebration to celebrate our heritage, and so we should do everything we can to bring positivity, more positivity into it, and more celebration into celebrating each other, celebrating each other in the present, and looking forward to the future and remembering the past. Okay, so this is where I'm going to go, and like I said, it's if you're getting negative vibes from someone, and it's going to do a little turn on us. Okay, if you're getting a negative vibes from someone, here is what it may mean. We all have met a person who instantly gave us negative vibes. We may have even realized the reason why. We just felt it, okay? We just felt it. We may not have even realized the reason why we got the negative vibes from the person, but we just felt it. We just felt it. So the tense, uncomfortable feeling that makes you want to think up an excuse and get out of there. Have you ever felt like that? So, oh wow, I'm feeling this. Maybe should I leave? Because I don't know whether I want to be in here or not. I don't feel this. I don't feel a positive thing in here. Okay? So if you're sensitive to the energies around you, you know what the author here is talking about. So in situations like this, it's easy to label that person as a negative or ill wishing, and suspect them to have some kind of dark intentions on you. But there may be some less obvious things that could result in someone emitting negative vibes. And so I told you it's going to take a turn on us. It's going to take us a certain way. Okay. So and the author here is saying, as an energy sensitive person, I always pay attention to my gut reactions to the different people I meet. And don't you? When you the feeling that you get, do you pay attention to it? You need to, okay? Because people can testify and talk about when they had a gut, we call it a gut feeling, when they felt something so strong and they reacted to it and they moved away from wherever that energy was, and then by that they were saved from some tragedy. They were saved from some tragedy. So it has happened many times in my life, the author says, that she instinctively disliked someone for no evident reason. As it turned out, she says, she said, my intuition was right, and these individuals proved themselves as fake or devious. Have you ever had a feeling like that? Thank you for being with me, talking about when you feel the negative vibes. And we have to admit these things. Some of these things come up. Some people don't like to talk about them, but I will talk about them because I experience these things too. And one thing I don't want to do is put off a negative vibe, but it's going to do some explaining in here why sometimes these negative vibes are transmitted. Okay, so they don't come only from people who want to get you into their toxic game. You hear that? It tells us that at the same time, observation and analysis of numerous social situations have also given the author the understanding that negative vibes are not always what they seem. And they don't come only from people who want to get you into their toxic game. All right? So, today, in this piece right here. So today we won't talk about hypocrites. We won't talk about narcissists and all kinds of sneaky manipulators. We are going to discuss some non-obvious reasons behind the negative vibe. Told you we're going to take a turn here, didn't I? Non-obvious reasons behind the negative vibe. Number one. Number one. They simply be having a bad day. They simply be having a bad day. Everyone is prone to negative emotions, and it's completely normal to experience them from time to time. And have you ever heard somebody say, "What's going on? What's wrong with you? What's happening with you?" Because they can see it in your countenance that something is not quite pleasant with you. And they can feel it too. They can feel that vibe. And so people say, "What's going on? What's happening? What's wrong? What happened?" Okay? So, number one, they simply be having a bad day. Everyone is prone to negative emotions, and it's completely normal to experience them from time to time. After all, is it really possible to be happy 365 days a year? Now, I believe it's possible to have joy 365 days a year because we can have joy in the midst of trouble deep down inside. Now, I believe that and I experience that from day to day, okay? But is it really possible to be happy 360 days, 65 days a year? What many people don't realize is what these emotions really do to us and what great power they hold. Emotions have some very great powers. Very, very, very great. Very great. So when we are governed by intense feelings of sadness, anger, or anxiety, our whole state of being is affected. And you know that's true. Our whole state of being is affected. As a result, we inevitably project this bad energy on the surrounding world and people because people can feel it when you're not feeling emotionally good. People can feel it. They feel those negative vibes, okay? So, have you ever felt the tension in the air when were around a very angry, sad person, yes, I have, it's as if the very atmosphere in the room becomes heavy and uneasy. And we've heard the expression, seems like they sucked all the air out of the room. Yeah, this is a clear demonstration that negative emotions are, in essence, powerful, low frequency vibration energy. They say it's powerful, low frequency vibration energy. So when you're getting negative vibes from someone, it doesn't necessarily mean they are a mean person. All right? And we have to remember that. It doesn't necessarily mean if you're getting what is it, those vibes, if they're coming off of me, that doesn't mean that I'm mean. It could mean that something is troubling me. So when you're getting negative vibes from someone, it doesn't necessarily mean they are a mean person. Maybe they're just mad at someone or having a bad day. And one thing I don't believe a person should do, even if you are having a bad day, if things are not going like you want them to go all that time and all that day, I don't think you should take your frustrations out on someone else. I don't believe you should. I don't believe you should. Number two, what is number two? Mental or physical illness. Okay, so we're talking about what could cause these negative vibes, and it doesn't have to mean that you're a bad person. Mental illness or physical illness could cause this. Illness, both mental and physical, affects our body on different levels. It really does. And I remember we were having a problem. Good morning. Good evening, Lady Patsy. Good evening, Lady Belma. Hello. Thank you for being with me. Um, yes. So, it doesn't mean all the time that you're a mean person. You could be having a bad day, or you could have somebody, the person could have a mental problem or physical illness. Illness, both mental and physical, affects your body in different levels. Among others, it may block the functions of our energy centers, making them emit a lower frequency. So we're already talking about a low frequency. So now it's talked about if you're sick physically or mentally, it could even emit a lower frequency. So that's why people who suffer from some kind of chronic illness will be very likely to project negative vibes. It is particularly true in cases of mood disorders such as bipolar and emotion related disorders like depression. Considering that these mental health issues get the person to experience intense negative emotions, sometimes at their extremes, it makes sense why low frequency energies may be present. Low frequency energies. Never heard of all of this until I studied this. It is such knowledge is powerful. And I have such a wonderful, sometimes fun time learning different things. And I like to share what I learn. I like to share it. I do. So, in fact, there is an alternative viewpoint on the energy nature of mental disorders, which gives a lot of food for thought. So, Dr. Maladoma Patrice, I'm turning pages now, so I have to. Doma Patrice Some, a shaman of the Dagara people, believes that mental illness affects natural healers who haven't learned to control the conflicting energies running through their bodies, which results in those devastating symptoms. Because our body is made to heal itself unless something overwhelms it. So interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting to me. According to this point of view, Mental illness is nothing but a product of energy imbalance and is regarded as an unleashed gift. Unleashed gift. And I remember one time I started saying that just a few, maybe 2 or 3 minutes ago, when we were having some issues were happening in our family, and mental thing was going on. So I took the trip and went to see about the person, and then I was communicating with Elder Davis along the way. And when I got to the place where the person was, then Elder Davis and the things were going and things were being said, and we knew that it was not that person. So Elder Davis, he said, has the person had something to eat? And he said it could be an imbalance, so give them something to eat. Could be a chemical imbalance. And so we ended up having to take the person to the hospital. And so it ended up being like a chemical imbalance. So this right here is wow, natural healers. Hello, Yolanda. Thank you for being with us. Natural, is a song that shaman said that, that or believes that mental illness affects natural healers. So it keeps your body from naturally healing itself because it can be overwhelming. Okay, so interesting. It's interesting, and the point of view is mental illness is nothing but a product of energy imbalance and is regarded as an unleashed gift. And it's an energy imbalance, and sometimes it could be the chemicals can be imbalanced, which will make you have an energy imbalance. Number three, deep introversion version or social awkwardness. Things that could give off bad vibes. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person, you're an angry person, you're a mean person, but there are other things that can cause bad vibes to be given off. Okay? So the writer is saying, I was once told that I make very confusing first impressions. And have you ever been told that? Some people, like I remember this lady, he said, oh my goodness, and her funeral is going to be, I think, on the 17th too. So we're praying for the family because we all grew up on the same street in Denison. But she said to me, one night we were riding together, we were going to a concert. And so she said to me, she said, Shirley, I thought you were stuck up, but you ain't stuck up, is you? And I said, I don't think so. And so we're talking about introversion or social awkwardness. This could cause you to give off bad vibes to some people. And she said that the thing about her is she's an honest person and she will tell you what's on her mind. All right? So this person said that they were once told that they make very confusing first impressions. So when meeting someone for the first time, the author is saying, I, you know, I'm changing pages, tend to avoid eye contact, forget to smile, and look somewhat puzzled. And sometimes we're trying to figure people out, and we're reading the vibes too, right? If people are reading our vibes, we're reading their vibes. Okay, sometimes those vibes clash and they're confusing. Okay, so all this results in the other person feeling like I'm not glad to see them or that I'm hiding something. But the truth is that it's just my social anxiety that makes me behave this way and send this kind of vibe. So all I feel when introducing myself and talking to someone I don't know is the overwhelming uneasiness and awkwardness. And so many people feel like that. So when you receive this kind of negative vibe from a person you just met, they may in fact have social phobia or self esteem issues. So they may be feeling awkward and interacting with, look at me in these pages, in the interaction with someone new and give off negative energy as a result. Anxiety resonates at low frequencies. And then sometimes people can just be just plain old stuck up, can't they? So we hope that's not us, okay? So it doesn't necessarily mean that this individual is hiding some creepy secret or is a hypocrite. They could just be an introvert just, shy and quiet and all that, with a highly reserved personality who prefers to keep their distance before getting to know you better. So who knows? Once you get to know each other, get closer, they may turn out to be the greatest person you will ever meet. And that's happened so many times, happened so many times with all of us. And so, number four, what is another reason for bad vibes? Sometimes we have a one track mind. We think everything is caused by somebody not being right or being hateful, mean, what is it, stuck up or whatever. But there are other reasons, and this is telling us some of the other reasons according to this researcher and this writer. Number four, it could be trauma, loss, or any kind of suffering that could help give off those bad vibes. So the person I remember that reunion with a friend I hadn't seen for years. He had gone, oh my goodness, oh, there it is, through the loss of a parent, financial difficulties, and tons of everyday stress of working in two jobs to make ends meet. And so many people have, oh my God, if you just sit and think or stand and think about the troubles that people have, it will literally cause you to weep. It will cause you to weep. And we just, I think about it, and we are awesomely, wonderfully, bountifully blessed compared to so many people. There are people struggling, like this man, working two jobs to make ends meet. And I've heard of people working three jobs, all of that to make ends meet. So I thank God for where I am. I thank Him. 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 There are things that I want, there are things that I need. But there are other people that don't even have what I have. And I am bountifully blessed and I am praying for other people. Oh, yes, I am. So now let me get back to this. The man had financial difficulties. He had suffered through the loss of his parents, working two jobs to make ends meet. And on the energy level, it was a completely broken person. I could not find a better word to describe the vibe I was getting than broken. Have you ever seen a broken person? Have you ever been broken? Thank God for recovery, huh? Thank God for recovery. Sometimes it seems that you could be so hurt, which to me is broken, until it seems like you could just be into little pieces. But thank God for gathering those, not letting them fall to pieces, you know, break into pieces, because sometimes some things can happen where you feel like you could just crumble, just crumble. But thank God, thank God that He keeps us. He keeps us. It said He keeps us in perfect peace whose minds are stayed on Him. Okay? Yes, He does. But it said it rains on the just as well as the unjust. Job said, what is it? Man is born of a woman of a few days and full of trouble. And so trouble is coming to everyone at some time or another. But don't give up. Don't distress. Even if you hurt, even if you weep, if you cry, give off that bad energy. It's going to be better, and those good vibes are going to come back. All right. So I rounded that off pretty good, didn't I? All right. Traumatic events that cause a lot of suffering, such as the loss of a loved one or a heartbreak. Have you ever had a heartbreak? I know we've all experienced the death transition of loved ones, not just a loved one, but loved ones, and that is terrible. We make our vibration literally fall apart. You hear that? Traumatic events that cause a lot of suffering, such as the loss of a loved one or a heartbreak, make our vibration literally fall apart. So a person will struggle to maintain the integrity of their energy shell. So that's why someone who has undergone any kind of trauma or intense suffering in life may be emitting negative vibes, because we just don't know. Some things people have suffered that by the grace of God we will never ever have to go through. And I thank Him for that. I thank Him for that. But that doesn't mean that the troubles we have are not devastating to us. All right? I don't play anything lightly for anyone, because the same thing could happen to you and me, and it will affect, let me see, it will have an effect, effect on us differently, but we'll both be just about devastated at whatever it is. And then if something good happens, we both are happy, but we're happy in our own way. Okay? So, all right, that's my point of view on that. So, if you've undergone any kind of trauma, then you could possibly be emitting negative vibes. Number five, you don't like them and they don't know it. That could be negative vibes. So, if you are an energy sensitive person, empath, then you can probably easily understand when someone doesn't like you, whether they show it or not. Their energy speaks for itself, and that's for real. And we've heard people say, I just don't like her. I don't like him. And somebody say, well, why don't you like him? Or why don't you like her? I don't know. I just don't like him. I just don't like him. We've all heard that. And hey, some of us might have already said it too, okay? I don't like him. Well, why? I just don't. It's something about him. Putting off those negative vibes, okay? All right. I try to round that one off, all right? So if you're an energy sensitive empath, then you can probably easily understand when someone doesn't like you, whether they show it or not. Their energy speaks for itself. So what do you do when it happens? What do you do when it happens? You may feel you've been wronged and start wondering why they dislike you. And I've been in that predicament. I don't understand it. I say, I don't know why they don't like me. But then, I'm not going to beg anybody to like me. So I just have to go my way and they have to go theirs. How about you? Okay? So, or you may focus on their negative personality traits and decide that you don't like them either. Hey, so finally, if you don't really care about what that person is feeling towards you, you may just keep your distance and avoid them. That's it. And avoid any kind of conflict or whatever. When you feel those vibes and they're not clicking, hey, go your way and let them go theirs. That's what we do anyway, don't we? So, in any case, you will project negative vibes on the person just like they did in the first place. So, as you see, it's a vicious circle of negative energy. Don't be quick to judge when you are getting negative vibes. That's all this is telling us, because it doesn't mean that the person is a bad person, doesn't mean all the time that they are evil or mean or whatever. It's just depending on the situation they are in at the present, what's going on in their lives at the present. And I'm going to try to be more aware of that myself. Okay, so don't be quick to judge when you are getting a negative, when you're getting negative vibes. So as you have seen from the above, negative vibes don't always come from mean and fake people. When you meet someone for the first time, you never know what person is in front of you and what they may be going through. Never. And that's why I tell people, hi everybody, thank you. Hi, Superintendent Timmons. Thank you so much. Yes, Sister Patsy. You can relate, can't you? Yes, yes, yes. Because everybody's not mean and hateful. They're just having a bad day and a bad time, and they need sometimes sympathy. They need empathy too. They need compassion. And that's why I say to people, we never know, even going out in the public or shopping, whatever we do when we go out and we are around people and you see someone, and sometimes if you just nod your head and give them a smile, that could change their whole demeanor for the whole day. And I know I've said this before. I probably told this about 3 times. I remember when I was riding the train, I stopped over. I stopped over on Mockingbird, or I was getting ready. Yeah, because sometimes you have to change trains, don't you? Yeah. So anyway, I stopped over. I think was it Mockingbird? I don't know. Wherever I stopped, there was a man there, and so I asked the man, "Are you having a good day?" And then he started talking to me and he told me, "Thank you for speaking to me." He said, "Some people look at the clothes I have on and then they think, they don't speak to me. Or, you know how people do. You know how we do. We look at the outer appearance and, hey, we might, I'm not going to get close to him. I'm not going to get close to her." But that man started weeping. He told me, "Thank you for speaking to me." It's amazing what 2 or 3 words, 4 or 5 words, and a smile can do for a person. It's amazing. And so we have to make sure that we are the people to spread that love, spread that compassion, spread that kindness. And then we have to do it wisely too, because some people don't want to be bothered with us. That's just the truth now. They don't want to be bothered. They want to be in their own pitiful world. And so that's the way they want to be. But that doesn't mean that we can go off on them because they don't want to be bothered with us, okay? So it's not always when negative vibes are transmitted, that is because the person's mean or hateful. It could be the situation at the time. So don't be quick to judge. It's always wiser to give people a chance and get to know them better before drawing any conclusions. And this right here is from, did I tell you the site it's on? Let me see if I can find the site. I always write that down. Well, I always gosh almighty. You all see, I got all these papers here now. What did Elder Davis used to say? And now I'm confused. Trying to find the first page. Okay, let me see. Because I want to give these people credit. Oh, shoot. Let me just go on the computer and see. I have it on here. Okay, thank you so much for being with me today. Now I'm going to talk about, we talked about, these negative vibes. And oh my goodness, do I have some good stuff for us today. Some of these things, these negative vibes are intentional from people. They want you to know, okay, I don't like you. But then we have to make sure that we keep our composure. I can read. I with the glasses. I don't not this. I can see superintendent. I can see the words and everything. I just couldn't find the page. You know how when you have all these pages and you get your pages confused. Oh wait a minute. Here it is. Oh, I said a name, didn't I? Oh, it's learning mind.com. Learning mind.com. There it is. I found the page. All right. Superintendent, thank you for your help. All right. So that's that first one. And let me go to the next one here. I'm just thankful that y'all are with me today. It really makes me feel good and it encourages me to have you with me. Um, Now, okay, we talked about. Remember, I asked the question: have you ever, like, maybe walked into a room, or you've been in a conversation, and you people act like they don't know. They give off these negative vibes, and then sometimes the cause of that is that somebody has been putting off some negative. Uh, Conversation about you to these people, okay? So I'm going here. I did the negative vibes so that I could go here. It led up to this. And then I have one more after this, which is going to explain everything that I have here. So, how to tell, here we go, if someone talks bad about you behind your back. Because I know we've all experienced it and we just maybe step up somewhere and then people just, I mean, like they just don't know what to say sometimes, it seems, because you can feel this. That's why I'm talking about these vibes. We are not crazy. We can tell when things are not quite like they should be, okay? Not quite like they should be. But then it also tells us that even when we do feel negative vibes, it doesn't mean that it's all malicious. So we understand all this. Excuse me, but I'm going to get into this. This is Jennifer Wellness and Self Improvement, and this is Jennifer McDougall Medium.com. Jennifer McDougall Medium.com. Okay, now when you feel those vibes. And so, like I said, God gives us these instincts so that we can know what's going on. And some people will tell us, "Oh no, I don't believe that. I don't think it's like that." But then you know, and your instincts can tell you some things, and we really need to pay attention to them. Sometime, not saying that we should just go off on a rant or a rage or something like that. We should always weigh the matter. Think about it. Don't be so quick to get angry and all of that. And just work it out in our minds and do what we need to do. And we can transmit information so quick. That brain can go so quicker than a nanosecond, quicker than a picosecond. We're getting information, transmitting, we're seeing this and hearing this and saying this all at the same time. Isn't it amazing how God put us together? It is so amazing. It is so amazing. And it just let's what is it like? He's a wonder. He's a wonder in my soul. Because he's just so awesome the way he put us together. We're resilient. We are well put together. And like I said, our bodies can heal themselves. He did all of that intentionally just for us. Just for us. I'm trying to get back to my what's on thing here. To my Here we go. I'm gonna do this right quick. But it's amazing how resilient we are, how he has made us to be who we are, and like our bodies are made to heal themselves. And we have like different things that we can get. We eat different things. All of that we just that can heal our bodies and all of that. We is just so well put together. It's just so amazing how he put us together. Now let me get back here to where I'm supposed to be. Now, talking about someone behind their back, talking about these bad vibes we get sometimes. And sometimes these vibes are not wrong, okay? Talking about someone behind their back is never a good thing. It's a sign of disrespect and can also hurt and damage the person on the receiving end. The best way to deal with this type of behavior is to confront it head on immediately, but sometimes that isn't always possible, and that's the truth. Sometimes it's best not to try to confront some people about some things because you might end up on the losing end in some way or another, or we. So it's wise, we must be wise and harmless. Okay? Wise and harmless. And sometimes, they say nip it in the bud, nip it in the bud. But sometimes you have to find another way to nip it in the bud. That means you need to get yourself on out the way. All right? So, now, so you might have tried talking to the person who spoke bad about you behind your back and ended up in an argument. See there we go, or other uncomfortable situation that made things worse between you both instead of better. But even if you can't talk directly with whoever keeps talking about you behind your back, there are still ways you can tell if they're saying things about you without them ever having to actually say anything at all. I'm talking about the negative vibes, and I'm going to get there to where I'm supposed to be. Just hold on with me. And thank you so much for your comments and everything, because these things hurt. Because right now, I'm doing this because when I experience something, I know I'm not the only person experiencing it. And I remember, and some people, they just don't understand and they just don't know some things. And then that could cause some negative vibes also. And it could cause people to be uneasy because of their understanding is not where it should be at the time. So then negative vibes can be put out by people spreading stuff, negative stuff about you, saying negative stuff. And I'm going to get to the psychology of that in just a few. So ask real questions that require an honest response. Don't ask leading questions. Don't ask questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. Don't ask too personal questions. Don't ask vague questions. Don't ask broad questions. I remember one time I had to do something. It was for my well being. It was for my well being. And so sometimes you have to do something, you just have to let that alone. You have to cut some things out of your life. It's for your well being, physical and mental. And so I did that. And when I did that, it was just like I thought about that movie, Waiting to Exhale. Sometimes when you let things go, it just seems like you could just go on and just feel so much better, because all of that energy that was bound up, that wasn't so good, that negative energy, you needed to get away from that. And once you let it go, then you can feel the sigh of relief. You can exhale. And I know you understand what I'm saying. So take notice of the vibe, of the tone, and volume of your conversations with this person. Like if something's going on with this person, you can try to talk to people, but sometimes it's better not to say anything to them about this. And some people say, well, why did you do this? Why did you do that? But if you know the person, and there's something, some friction there, and you have to take your action. If you have to get out of, remove yourself from the situation or whatever, and there's some friction there, and you know the person. And so sometimes it's best not to discuss some things with the person, because the next thing you know, you're going to feel those negative vibes all over the place because they went off and embellished the situation in their favor. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes, what it says, you have to be wise. All the time, you have to be wise. But in some situations, you have to hold your tongue. Okay? So you have to take notice of the tones and everything. And even if when you're trying to discuss something with someone, it might start getting elevated, and then you'll have to remove yourself from that also. Because sometimes you don't mean any harm, you just want to get to the bottom of it, the reason that these things are going on. And then some people will try to make a big thing out of it. And that's why they say you have to be careful, because you could end up arguing, or even sometimes physically fighting people physically. So you have to be wise in these things. So I know I'm talking about these negative vibes. And then you have to look at the people's body language. So now, when we talk about when you walk into a situation and it seems like everybody just stops talking, and you wonder, okay, all right. And then you know that something has been said in a negative way. And then some people don't know how to react or act to you or act toward you because of some things that have been said. So now I'm going to go into this other one. It might seem like I'm all over the place, but I'm talking about negative vibes today. What causes negative vibes? Okay, so there's one more that I'm going to do, which I think will explain it all. Talking about the psychology of. That's right. I also have to consider the person. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Velma. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You have to consider. What is it? Consider one another. We have to consider each other, because you just don't know. And then you have to know. If some people and hey, I better not get into it with that person because it's not going to do any good anyway. It's not going to do any good anyway. And so there's a psychology of what we call the reason I'm talking about this today, because this is something I'm experiencing right now. Doesn't mean I'm above everybody, but we all have things that happen. But then people, and people are just some people. I don't know. You try to be nice and helpful and everything. And you know what? That scripture says jealousy is as cruel as the grave. And it matters not what you do, try to help a person or whatever. They, I just don't understand. Remember, I think I said something about it in the beginning, where we should try to help each other more instead of trying to pull each other backwards and to pull each other down. And so much of that is happening now. And so that could cause, and it does cause, many, many bad vibes among people. Many bad vibes. So we don't want to let these things continue. And I believe that if we practice, if we practice earnestly, practice doing better, I believe we can. And that's one thing that I do. I don't want to put off any bad vibes toward anyone, not toward anyone. And I know that everybody, sometime or another, we do emit some bad vibes. But like it said in the material, it said it's not always because we're bad or mean or hateful or anything. It could be just a situation. Just like you were saying, Velma, we consider the other person because we don't know what people are going through. And then they don't know what we're going through. And have you ever seen someone just snap, just snap a person up real quick and then they say, "Oh, what did I do?" They don't know what they did, but that person could be having, like this said, a bad day. Something could be going on, and then later on they'll say, "Oh, say I apologize because I did that. I'm just having a bad day, or this happened, or that happened, and so I apologize." When they get themselves together, so we do need to consider each other. Okay, and I don't think I'm going to go into that other part that I was going to go into. We're talking about these bad vibes, but we can help each other, and we can even be stronger. We're much stronger together. We are much stronger together. And that song that I like so much said, "No man is an island, no man stands alone. Each man's joy is joy to me. Each man's grief is my own. We need one another. So I must defend each man as my brother, each man as my friend." So let's just remember, and I will remember also, because I know, and then we have these instincts. And then our instincts not only warn us, but they can keep us abreast of the fact that, okay, this is not as bad as it seems. So just be cool, be patient, because this is not as bad as it seems. And then you'll realize when it all is all said and done that whoever was just having a moment that was not pleasant. And so bad vibes are not always because of negative hatefulness and all of that. Okay? So you know what? I'm not going to jibber jabber. I'm going to sign off. And I thank you for being with me. Well, it's 2 o'clock anyway. Man, I didn't know I was talking that much. Okay, I love you all. Thank you so much. Hi, Walter Brown. Hi. Wow. Thank you so much. And so remember that when people give negative energy off, it's not always because they're hateful and mean. Sometimes they're just going through some trying, traumatic experiences. I love you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being with me. And God willing, I'll be here Thursday. Thank you so much.
Oh God, I'm calling on you. Oh God, I'm enlisting the saints to pray. Can you hear me? Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Can you feel